Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the legendary Dex wheel this time. Obviously, this is post-rotation, so some of these decks have took a bit of a hit, and, well, one of them in particular, the legendary Beast deck, let's just say if you're stuck with that one, unless your opponent bricks, yeah, you're gonna lose, because, obviously, as per the rules of this series, we are only allowed to use the legendary Pokemon that are available in standard format, plus one copy of Fez and one copy of Latias to obviously give the decks a little bit more pivot and things like that, and obviously, draw power. But if you get the legendary deck or the legendary beast, you might as well just give up and go home.
Concede.
Yeah, give up and go home is the polite way. The best decks that are remaining in this are the Loyal 3 with the Petrarunt and the Ogerpons, which have a bunch of different mask ones. Other than that, the decks are either okay, bad, or in the case of the Legendary Beasts, just concede, to be brutally honest. But of course, I've already pre-made these deck lists. My sister is allowed to make modifications, as am I, depending on obviously, text and things like that. But obviously this will be post-rotation, so of course we are not adding G-Block cards, because, well...
Womp womp.
Womp womp, as the kids would say. So, since you lost the last round of it was the worst DXs, would you like to go first or second?
I know I went first last time and it didn't pay off, but I am going to go first again.
Okay, well I'm going to wait till it gets to the Legendary Beast before we do a spin, because that should reduce the chance of you getting it.
Oh, that's fine.
Ooh, the Weather Trio, that did take a nerf. That did take a big nerf.
Yeah,
so this
I'm intrigued though.
Now, I haven't updated it because obviously the new Rayquaza is in the deck from Ascended Heroes, but this deck did take a bit of a nerf because obviously I think it's Magma Purge Groudon. That is obviously a G-Block card, so that has been removed from the deck. So you have taken a bit of a nerf in that regard, but hopefully I don't spin the Legendary Beast because I will not win. But fingers crossed. Let's see what we get. No, please give me Ogerpon!
No, you're going to get the Ogerpons.
Yes, the Ogerpons. That's one of the best decks remaining. So obviously there will be the single prize Ogerpons, because yes, there are new ones now. But also the two prize Ogerpons, including a Cornerstone, but there's only one copy, and I know that for a fact because I built it about 4 hours ago. But yeah, we're going to go off, modify our deck list where required. I will see you shortly. And welcome to our first game. I've literally made like one modification, I think, and that's literally swapping one card.
I think I've only made like 2 changes at most.
Because obviously with us playing these in post-rotation, and while Meowth isn't allowed, yeah, this is something. Do I want to go first? No, I'm going to let you go first.
Alright. I don't mind that too
I think
much.
my Ogerpon deck does have the advantage of going second. Okay, that's not bad at all. I cannot complain about that. I'm actually going to use this as my starter. Because obviously I am allowed to be the single prize versions. So say hello to the the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon single prizer. Which will never see the light. This will never see the light of competitive play, but well, I want to play it, so
yeah. So we've obviously started with Rayquaza, or Rayquaza, as I believe the official pronunciation is. But I always say Rayquaza. That's how I say Rayquaza since I was a kid. Yeah. So we have
a long time ago.
Kyogre, Latias. Let's go for Water Energy on the active, and that's my turn.
Okay. Let's draw for turn. That is not bad at all. I will bench a Teal Mask Ogerpon. I will then Teal Dance. That's not bad.
So you're just naturally going to have better draw than me.
Oh, for sure.
Teal Mask.
I'll attach to the Wellspring, and I will Lilies. Okay, that's really good. I played a Terra Orb. Obviously, Half Flame Mask Ogerpon is one that I do not want in this matchup. Because, well, the two prizer. I am playing it regardless, because obviously it is technically still an Ogerpon, and I can use it. But for now, I'm not going to use it. So then I will Water Kagura. and accelerate my last water energy in deck to the Wellspring Ogopon in the active.
Sure. Alright. My turn's going to be very, very simple. I'm going to Crispin.
I think we're losing our Wellspring then.
Let me just double check. Okay, I needed this energy, not that one.
Yeah, you need a fire to do that.
We'll put water in hand, lightning on the active.
That means fire energy is in hand.
Attach return.
Yep. That's fine.
I'll play Pokegear.
I can afford to lose this. You know, I got to use Water Kagura. I didn't put it on the Teal Mask because it isn't really relevant. There's a boss.
For later.
Yep.
And I will Dragon Claw for the knockout.
Alright. Not bad, not bad.
Take the first prize of the game.
Very early on. Let's draw for turn. Okay, that's really good. So we'll Teal Dance. Okay. I'll Night Stretcher back. What's going to be more relevant? The fire, I guess. It's not going to be too relevant, though. I will Lilies again.
Yep.
Ooh, that's evil. So I will bench the the Twilight Masquerade Teal Mask Ogerpon, and I will bench the Destined Rival Teal Mask Ogerpon.
Sure.
I'll then Teal Dance to the one on the bench. Okay, that's fine. I'll attach Legacy Energy to my Teal Mask Ogerpon, and I will Mirror Leaf Shower for 210. Take it at Rayquaza. Yep. Nice, nice, nice.
Okay.
I'll take that.
I'm going to promote the Latias just while I figure out what's best.
Fair enough. Yeah, I wanted to play the Kaguras because like it's just funny because like it's an extra way to get energy into play, so that's kind of why I went the route that I did.
Okay, we're gonna bench the Rayquaza.
Yep.
This turn as well, so I'll play Pokegear.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll take the Crispin.
Mm-hmm.
We will then play the Crispin.
Yep. So I might be getting a break for Assault for 110.
Yeah, these guys.
Okay.
And then I will... attach fire for turn. I'll retreat to the baby Kyogre under the pass.
Okay.
I don't think Break for Assault is really worth it because you can just knock me out straight away.
Exactly. I'll Teal Dance to the Ogerpon. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. I'll bench another Teal Mask Ogerpon. I'll then Energy Switch to one of them. Night Stretcher back that water. Attach to the Teal Mask. I'll retreat off one of the grasses into the baby, and I'll Harlequin. Okay, I'll take the heads. That's good for me. You do obviously get to take out this Teal Mask if you know if you decide to attack with Break for Assault, but I'm not particularly bothered about that. So I'll play the Terror Orb. I will grab another Teal Mask Ogerpon. I know this is mostly Teal Mask Ogerpon at this point, but it's the best attacker. It's the best attacker, like, you know. I will try and get... Obviously, I'm not going to use Half Flame, but still.
No.
I'll use the baby Half Flame, but that's about all you're getting.
Pokepad.
For those Half Flame Mask Ogerpon EX lovers, I'm afraid it's not going to be used in this one.
We'll get the Groudon. Bench it.
Yep.
And I think we will go attach water to Kyogre EX and Lilies.
If I've heard that alarm then, that was my medication alarm. I've already took them, so... I don't know if it came through on your end.
I didn't hear it. I will then retreat into
Rayquaza,
and I'll break through Assault for the knockout.
That's fine by me. I can afford to lose that little teal mask. Yeah, like I said, I will obviously use other Ogerpons. It's just this is the best one in the deck, so I might as well. Okay, well there's Fez. We will bench the Fez. And Fez for 3. Okay, that's pretty good. Because Bubble Drain only does 100, which isn't relevant. I'm going to Teal Dance here, because I don't need to Teal Dance the active. There's a Terror Orb. That's pretty good. I'll grab myself Cornerstone, which isn't relevant in this matchup, but it's an extra attacker. I'll then Energy Switch one of the energies to the Cornerstone. I can leave that in there. I can then Crispin, getting a Grass and a Fighting. I'll take the Grass to hand and pop the Fighting on that Cornerstone. I'll then Teal Dance to the active, because then I can get an extra card. Not too relevant. And I will Mirror Leaf Shower for 210. Take another prize card. Nice, I needed that, the prize cards.
I will bring up the Latias. Okay.
Seems pretty good for me so far.
Let's see. Bench Fez.
Yep.
The script. Highly helpful.
Let's see what you can do here, because we are on equal prize cards, but obviously you don't really have a lot of energy in play, which is good for me.
Yeah.
There's a gear. Spin, yep.
It's quite hard to get energy on the board with this deck though, like
depend most of the decks are impacted, like because of post rotation and stuff.
I'll play the Crispin.
There's Crispin, that's fine. Like I said, Tiamat, like the Ogerpon deck, is probably one of the best remaining, and well, I just happened to get it. I'm thankful I didn't get the Legendary Beast, because that would have been horrible. I mean, I have type coverage against, you know, Kyogre, but it's just getting the cards into play. It's really difficult with that deck. So there's a Crispin. That's fine. How many stretches have I used? I've used 2 stretcher, okay. I need to be careful then.
Okay, I'm just doing some math, so...
30, 60, 90, 120, 10, okay.
Fine. I think we're okay to do that, I think we... Oh no, we're not okay to do that!
Someone's figured out Teo Math.
It's annoying because I can't really do anything else. I haven't seen any like E-switches. I can't remember if... I don't think I play any actually, so it's hard to like set up basically.
Yeah, it can be tricky.
I'm just gonna fin the deck with another Pokepad.
Yeah, good idea. So you've got 1 water in the discard, that's fine.
Return to the Groudon, I'll retreat into the damaged Kyogre and I'll pass.
Okay.
There's not a lot I can do here. It's pretty rough.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'll energy switch to the Cornerstone. I'd rather, then again though, it's safer to do it with the Till Mask. I'll Night Stretcher, grab back a Grass. Teal Dance. Draw an extra card. Okay, that basically solidifies what I'm doing then. How much damage am I doing? 150, 180, 10. So I actually need to play my 4th Night Stretcher. But that's fine. I can afford to do that. I'll attach. Boss the Kyogre. And Mirror Leaf Shower 240.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yep.
That's again, not a lot I can do when it's such a high attack cost.
Yep. That's what I mean. Some of these decks took a massive nerf, thanks to post-rotation in general. So I do have access to Cornerstone and Attacker, which is good. So even if this Teal Mask goes down, I do have a back Attacker. And even then, it only gives up one prize card because of Legacy. But you could attack Enhanced Hammer for all I care.
I didn't. I didn't think Legacy would be your ace back.
Fair enough.
Not a great spot because, again, like we've alluded to, the Kyogre was such a hard one to set up. It takes like 2 turns to set up.
Yeah, exactly.
The boss KO there is not ideal. Let me see.
Just trying to think. Do I have?
I have no way to come back from a 2 prize deficit. I don't think.
Well, I do have Game in Hand if you do not hand Disrupt.
Right, well, no, I can't hand Disrupt, so I'm just going to scoop then.
Okay, because I had Ultra Ball to get rid of Wellspring. Then I can play Ogre's Mask, go into Wellspring, then boss your damaged Kyogre, and Torrential Pump the Kyogre plus the Rayquaza. So I did have Game in Hand. If you are, I mean, I doubt it, but I did obviously have it in hand. So, but anyway, we're gonna go to game 2. That was quite an expected one because obviously this is the most. I would argue this is the most powerful deck remaining against one of the more weaker ones. So unfortunate for my sister here. So let's go to a game 2. And welcome back to game 2. We were just having a brief discussion there, and obviously I was just making sure my sister understood. And to be fair, she's a judge. I should hope she understands. Do you want to go first or second, by the way?
Please.
Just say that again because you cut out.
First.
So that's fine. So I'll just flip the coin if I get it, which I don't think I did. No. So second for me, that's fine. Excuse me. But yeah, like we was discussing at the end there, this is one of the more powerful decks. I have a mulligan. As do you.
Still loading.
I'd had to take 3 mulligans. I have so many basics. You had to take 3 mulligans as well.
And I still don't have a basic.
Wow. I do have a basic this time. Jesus, what? Another 2 mulligans. But to be fair, like, there is only so much we can play when it comes to these decks. They are starting to leave into the realm of terrible. But, you know, we still want to obviously feature them as part of the series and stuff. But, you know, the Ogerpons is arguably the best deck remaining. Second place is Loyal 3.
Nothing off of the gear.
Ooh, okay. Okay, let's see what we can do here then. Alright, so that's not bad at all. We will bench you. We will Teal Dance. Okay, that's fine. I'll Ultra Ball away the Fez and the Wellspring. Grab myself a Latias. I'll bench the Latias. Play the Terra Orb. Grab Wellspring Mask Ogerpon EX. Bench it. Attach an energy. Lilies. The reason why I'm not Teal Dancing here is there's no guarantee I get an attack off with it. Because obviously I want to sob this Groudon if preferable, but I will Teal Dance the one grass I got. I'll bench the baby Half-Flame Mask Ogerpon. I'll then free retreat into the Wellspring and sob. Which is what I'm pretty certain my sister will be doing once she realises I didn't put a switch out in that deck. And I don't know if she did. So,
nope.
Yeah.
And I also have got not a good hand. So, attach. Pass.
Yeah. I'm not going to waste any time. Play the ends plan. I mean, to be fair, I'm actually 10 damage short, so I can sob anyway, but I have game with Torrential Pump if you don't have anything. Because obviously I have to sob there to obviously get it in torrential pump range. Okay, so it's not...
that, so I don't technically lose, but honestly, this hand is so dead.
Jesus. Right, well, let's see. I don't need to bench that. I'll attach to the half flame. I'll pokey pad, grab the baby cornerstone. We might as well get it featured, I guess. And lilies.
I could do with one of them right now.
You can always borrow it if you like. I'll teal dance. Okay, nice. I'll teal dance again. Nice. Don't need to play this Terror Orb, so I will just Torrential Pump. Shuffle the energy back in, take out the Groudon, and take out the Rayquaza.
Hooray! That's the whole setup gone.
Yep. That's the problem with this particular deck, is once you get it set up, it just keeps going, you know. There's a lot of, you know, strategy. Well, I say strategy. There's a lot of, you know, potential with this particular build that I've gone with, the Ogerpons. Obviously, you've got multiple ways to accelerate energy via Rock Kagura, Fire Kagura, Water Kagura, Grass Kagura. You know, you've got Crispin, you've got the Teal Mass. You know, there's a lot of energy acceleration, which is what these lists, like, in general, just kind of lack. But unfortunately, that's just the way these... Because obviously we wasn't intending this series to like be a long-running one, but obviously we want to spice things up with different, you know, decks and things like that throughout the time. So losing Arven, Turbo Energize is kind of bad, to say the least. So, I'm just trying to think.
We rip 5 for 20.
And then it gets shuffled back in. Okay. I was hoping for a different top deck then, but I might be able to do something cool here. Ooh. No, that doesn't do it. But actually no, I've got an idea. No, that doesn't do anything for me. I'll thin this out, the half flame mask Ogerpon. Ultra Ball away half flame and a Teal Mask. Fail it. I have no energy in the discard pile, but that's fine. I will attach to the half flame. I don't need to take a knockout here. And I'm just going to fire Kagura and get another energy in play. Onto itself. Which gives me more options later. Which could be relevant.
Okay, Pokegear. Take the lilies.
Be useful. We can also potentially power up that Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon with the Mountain Ramming and do some disruption, which could be nice.
And all lilies.
Yep. Let's hope you're with the Latias.
Ultra Ball.
Oh. Looks like I'm losing my Ogerpon, but that's okay.
Get the Lati. Bench it. Retreat.
Looks like I'm losing my half flame. I could have attached it to the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon on the bench, but like it doesn't do enough to kill Rayquaza, so there's no real point. Because all you need now is just any type of energy to knock me out. But anyway, let's promote the Latias. See, I know you're not intentionally playing around it, but you're technically playing around the baby Teal Mask Ogerpon with Ogre Comeback. But still. I'll Night Stretcher back this fighting energy, because I could need that. I'm just trying to think, could I do that? I don't really need to. I mean, it thins a card, but it doesn't really benefit me in the long run. So no, I'm going to leave that. I'll bench this anyway. I can attach a fight into the cornerstone. And I'll lilies. Okay, that's pretty good. Teal dance. Nice. Teal dance again. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll energy switch one off and put it on the cornerstone. I'll then energy switch again and put it on the teal mask. I'll then free retreat into my powered up teal mask and mirrored leaf shout for 180. And take another prize card. There's my cornerstone at the prizes. Good. Not like it's relevant in this matchup. It's not a very good card in this matchup, but still. Let's see what happens from here.
Well, the issue is with this deck is that everything that can swing big damage just gets insta knocked out by the teal mass no matter what. The only card that can knock it out is the Kyogre EX, and it takes 2 turns to set up. So, from a 2 prize deficit, I'm pretty much done, because there's no way I can set up the Kyogre and boss up a baby Ogerpon, basically.
Exactly.
So, is there even any point carrying on? Also, sorry if you hear any background noise. I think Rob's in the kitchen tidying up.
That's okay, no worries. Like I say, from a 2 prize deficit with, you know, such a strong deck like this one in this particular format, there's not a lot. There's not a lot you can really do, I'm afraid. And that's not me being negative, that's just, you know... There's a Crispin, so we might be seeing a Swirling Waves. Which could be relevant. There's a Lightning Energy. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a Swirling Waves.
It's the only attacker I can set up this turn, really.
Yeah. And it's the safest one as well, because then, you know, Riptide potentially, if you get enough water in the discard, eventually, you know, it could potentially be something, but still, there's a fire.
Swirling
Waves. Here comes Swirling Waves.
And I'll discard the 2 waters.
Yeah, best thing to do. Alright.
That's all I can do, really.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, that is a clutch top deck. I will attach Legacy Energy to the cornerstone, and our lilies. Okay, that's not bad at all, Chief. We'll free retreat into the cornerstone, and I will Mountain Ramming for 100, and discard the top card of your deck. That's actually helping you. That actually does help you. That's kind of annoying, but it's okay. It's okay. We just need you to whiff another 3, is it? Yes. I mean, at least we're getting to use the cornerstone baby, but still. Not much of a selling point.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I must admit, I do like these single prize, you know, Ogerpons. They are quite interesting. It's just a shame they're not very good offensively. Like, the Kagura attacks are really good for, like, acceleration, but, you know, it's not a great thing to have. They don't do a lot of damage, which is the main problem.
Oh, Crispin.
Fighting.
I mean, I've got to solve this legacy regardless. Like, even if I don't take a prize card,
You still have to take it out of the equation.
I'm still gonna have to take it out anyway. So We will Swirling Waves for 130 and the knockout, take no prize cards. But we will discard the 2 water.
Yep.
There's not really a lot I can do when I can't, like, gust and... See, again, another card that we've not really spoken about in these videos is Countercatcher. Countercatcher would go so good.
Oh, that would be so good. You are going to hate me for this turn, though, but first, Teal Dance. Nice. Well, Teal Dance again. Okay. I'll attach water. Ends plan.
Yep.
I'll then Night Stretcher back. Because I didn't get to use Searing Flame, but I'm not really bothered about that. I'll just take the grass. Do I want to bench this? I don't think I do. I think I just leave it there. How many Night Stretchers I played? I played 2, so I can afford to play this. Get something back. I'll get back the Half Flame. I'm not going to bench it, though. And then we'll Torrential Pump. Shuffle the energy back in, take out the Kyogre, and take out the Rayquaza. Taking me down to 1 prize card. And you know I have a grass in hand for that Tilmas with the 2 energy on. Or Eva. Tilmas going on with 2. Yeah, Eva. Yeah. I think this is curtains, unfortunately. I mean, it was curtains the moment you got the deck, unfortunately. But that's sadly how rotation is, you know. There's not a lot we can really do about it. So that's... yeah, that's fine.
I'm just going to go out in style, because why not? This deck is awful.
Good idea. We're going to boss. Is that even enough?
Oh,
no. I think you're 1 short.
I am 1 short.
Did you get another way to discard?
No, of course I didn't.
Aww. I had ends planned to move energy across anyway.
Of course you did.
I think I played 3 copies of it, so it's kind of relevant. But yeah, that is what happens when a really poor deck in this series faces arguably the best that's remaining. Yeah, rotation has not been kind to some of these decks, and well, sadly, the Kyogre trio is definitely one of them. So we're going to take a look at the deck list, and we'll see you shortly. So here's my list for the Ogerpons. Well, it's technically 4 Ogerpons, but still. This was one of those decks that, when obviously, modifying these for post-rotation, I immediately thought, well, this deck's kind of cracked, just like the Loyal 3. I would love to have seen the Loyal 3 take on this Ogerpon box sort of deck. Because obviously they do have... well, that particular deck has an answer to the Cornerstone, so you can't just sit behind this the whole time. Obviously in this matchup, Cornerstone was not relevant, because, well, I could have used it as an attacker, and I almost did. But, I wanted to try and include the single prize Ogerpon if possible. Obviously, I'll explain my reasoning for the deck build as I go along. So, of course, I have 4 Teal Mask Ogerpon, which is the main way we're going to be getting energy onto the board. We then have 2 Teal Mask Ogerpons from Twilight Masquerade. This is just a backup attacker. It's cheap, and obviously my sister was unintentionally playing around this. Because if she had 5 Pokemon down, the reason why I say unintentionally is because obviously she wasn't really benching much stuff. But Ogre Comeback can do 120 damage, which can obviously take out some single prizes of hers. I think the Rayquaza is 110, but, Ogre Comeback is a nice attack that we have, but obviously I don't think I even used this attack. Then, of course, we have 1 copy of the Teal Mask Ogerpon with Crass Kagura. The Kagura attacks are another way we can accelerate energy into play. We only play limited counts of these energies, however, because obviously mainly we want to be using Teal Mask Ogerpon as our energy acceleration. But obviously I have 1 of each of the different masks, but obviously we'll go through that as we go along. We then have 1 Cornerstone, 1 Half Flame. I didn't use this because obviously, Kyogre is such a big threat to this card. And to be fair, if my sister did get set up with the Kyogre, she one-shots all my Pokemon with it. So Dynamic Blaze has no value, and Wrathful Half has no value. But I wanted to put it in the deck list anyway. You could technically say I'm playing with 59 cards, but, well, I'm not really too bothered. Then, of course, we have one copy of the single prize Hellflame Mask Ogerpon, one copy of the single prize Wellspring Mask, and, of course, one copy of the Cornerstone Mask. Again, Fire Kagura, Water Kagura, and Rock Kagura are extra ways we can get energy onto our board, whether it be Wellspring, Cornerstone, or even itself, because it does specify one of your Pokemon, so that's why sometimes I attach it to the active. And even if I knew it was going down, that's why I did it, because then I'm thinking an extra card out the deck, which I don't necessarily need, and it's just nice to have that option. Then, of course, as is tradition with these decks, one Fez and one Latias, and then, of course, one Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. I didn't bother playing 2. The original list that I did have saved did play 2, but I wanted to lean more into these new Cornerstone or the new Ogerpons in general, because obviously these are all from Destined Rivals, and I wanted to play these more than I did Wellspring, because I've done enough videos on Wellspring. Then, of course, we have 4 Lilies, 3 Ends plan, which does seem quite extreme given 4 energy switch, but obviously the whole idea is, as I said, Teal Dance, Kaguras, and then obviously Ends plan to whatever we need. 2 Crispin, quite a low count considering, the amount of energy we're actually playing and also, the options we have. But again, Teal Mask Ogerpon, Ends plan, Kaguras, we don't really need too many Crispins. 2 Boss, 1 Harlequin as a little bit of hand disruption. 4 Energy Switch, 4 Night Stretcher, 4 Terror Orb. We're playing primarily into the 2 prize Ogerpons, so hence the Terror Orbs. 2 Ultra Balls, 2 Ogre's Masks. Obviously, I did have game with this in one match, but obviously my sister conceded before I could actually use the card, but this is a really cool card. I was hoping to use it a little bit earlier, but obviously I didn't really get a chance to. What this allows us to do is if we have a Ogerpon in the name with, a Pokemon EX Ogerpon in the discard pile, we can swap it with one of our current ones. Any attached cards, damage, special conditions, turns in play, and any other effects remain on the Pokemon. So that's how I was able to go for potential game with Wellspring plus Ultra Ball, because I could Ultra Ball the Wellspring away, change my Teal Mask Ogerpon, which had 3 Grass and a Legacy on it, which obviously Legacy counts as any type of energy, and then obviously I can go for Torrential Pump for game. So that was the idea behind that, and it technically did work, it's just obviously we didn't get to see it in game in action. Then of course 2 Pokepad, finds us our little guys, this little guy can be quite useful. Then, of course, 8 Grass, 2 Water, 2 Fire, 2 Water again, 2 Fighting, and 1 Legacy. Legacy, again, busted card in like an Ogerpon box sort of deck anyway. There is a deck out there that is literally Quad Ogerpon, it's 2 Wellspring, Pikachu EX, the like, and they sometimes play Legacy energy, so that was sort of the inspiration in a way for why I chose Legacy. But other than that, this is a really fun deck list to play, but, it's one of those things, and we discussed this briefly before we obviously came to the deck list part. There's satisfaction in winning in these, episodes and things like that, sibling rivalry and that. But there are times where you think, that just wasn't fair, and this was unfortunately one of those times. So, what did you think to the list, sis?
I mean, it did what it wanted to do, right?
Pretty much. Pretty much, I wanted to play the new Kagura Ogerpons from Destined Rivals, so that was already going in the list as one of each. But other than that, Teal Mask Ogerpon is busted, and is exactly why this is probably the best deck that was remaining. So now we're going to go to my sister's deck list and see what she had.
So this is the Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Weather Trio shenanigans. We lost a really good, well, not a really good Groudon, but we lost a better Groudon down to rotation. It kind of sucks that, like, all of the sort of big attacks are sort of attacks that take 2 turns to set up. So you saw in game 1 when I was trying to set up the Kyogre EX for a knockout, it just gets boss KO'd straight away because of the amount of energy that you need to have to attack with it. The Breakthrough Assault attack on Rayquaza was pretty cool to take out the little guys, but when you're trying to take out the big guys, it's not really useful at all. The original list did have 4 of the EX, and I cut it down to 2, just because it takes so much to get this set up. So I was relying on the little guys more than anything. But as I say, I was kind of like, we lost a decent ground on. So, as much as I would have liked to have used this on Fez, it was just not possible, because you have to use Crispin to set up one of these guys at least. There's no way you can set up both of them. And even with E-switchers and anything else, I don't think it would have really helped the deck at all. It just didn't really work at all. I know obviously the part of the series is like, we are meant to be using the Pokemon that, are the legendaries and stuff, but this deck just doesn't work at all. The Crispin and the Lilies is obviously nice. The boss was good. The Brock Scouting was fine, but I didn't really use it. Gear was good. Ultra Ball's good. Night Stretch is good. Pokepad, obviously, to get the little guys. You can see that the ace pack was Prime Catcher. That didn't come up at all. I didn't even see it in any of the games. The list also came with 2 lively stadiums, but of course I'm not going to put that in play when it's already a struggle to, take out the EXs on Joe's side of the board. And again, the energy count was fine, but it's just, this deck just doesn't work. Like, it takes 2 turns to set up any of the good big attackers, and your opponent can just boss and KO you anyway. So yeah, this deck, I'd say, like, out of all the decks that I've been given in this particular mini-series, this has been my least favorite. I did not enjoy playing this deck, and you can probably tell from the tonality of my voice that I didn't really enjoy the games today on this. So
yeah. And I'm just going to chime in here, like, before, like, rotation hit, obviously we had, Arven, Turbo Energize. It was a lot easier, like, you may remember the genies, as I like to call them, the Thunderous, Landorus, and you had the... What deck did you have? You had the Lake Trio, didn't you?
Was that the Lake Trio?
Yeah.
That's still my favourite deck from this series.
And I must admit, that was our favourite battle from this series, but, this is just a prime example of how rotation can take a series and just completely throw it in a dumpster. And, like, now that we've had one of the best decks remaining, which is, the Ogerpons box, which is obviously what I played, obviously taken out of the equation now, the remaining decks either have a similar issue to this deck that you've obviously seen in action today, or it's the Loyal 3, which is the last good deck of this mini-series. And, we may move to best of 1 format, which I think is something we'll discuss off camera, depending on the deck, obviously, and obviously if we roll into it. Because, the Loyal 3 is a deck that has a lot of, like, it did see minor play when it first came out, but it's arguably the best deck remaining, and the rest of them, in some cases at least, kind of function kind of like how this one did. And, you're trying to, make content, and obviously, you're trying to make these series interesting around these legendary Pokemon. You have to consider, not only our own time, because obviously we don't really want to be playing decks like this, but at the same time, we've got to consider rotation is a big impact for this series. So going forward, that is something we may consider, but obviously that will depend on, how the wheel spin goes. And, well, yeah, we'll go from there, really. But ultimately, this is a deck that, in testing, because obviously I did test all these decks before rotation, they were all at least, capable of doing something. As you may remember with the Genies versus the Lake Trio, that was something that was one of my favourite battles I've ever done with this series. But this one, definitely not. This was not an enjoyable episode for me. I know it may seem that counterintuitive, because I won by a landslide. But again, that's not the point I'm making. The point is that these episodes are intended to be pretty equal for all of us. But the fact that rotation has hit this hard kind of really puts a dawdle on sort of things. But hopefully going forward, obviously, if we do decide to go that best of 1 route, that will probably be something a little bit more fun for us. Because obviously, there is still a big bad deck remaining. But maybe, we can go best of 1 from there. But anyway, I'm going to leave it all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the Ogerpons box that I crafted. And, well, the Kaguras were interesting to use as attack. I did enjoy using it. But ultimately, I didn't enjoy this gameplay today with the Ogerbox versus this. This just felt unfair. But anywho, we'll see you all next